Well, welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gavin Hyde, and I'm honoured to be here with another one of our amazing awakened authors, Trudy Fairweather. Hi, Trudy. Welcome.
Hi, Gav.
Hi, Trudy. So I know this is going to be a lot of fun. So you wrote a chapter in a book, or in our next book, about resilience.
Yes, I'm in your book.
Yes, or in our book, and I'm so pleased that you're in our book. So tell me, Trudy, what's your chapter about?
My chapter is about grief and loss. So it's the loss of a loved one, my dad, and a relationship breakdown, and also hearing loss.
Wow.
Mm.
I'm just taking a breath. So as a result of the loss and the grief, the relationship with your dad, or with your dad,
Mm.
that relationship breakdown, and really interesting that hearing loss.
Mm.
What were some of the things that you had to overcome, or that you experienced back then, or the adversity that you actually experienced?
Okay, so in each case, I experienced fear, denial, fair amount of denial in there, anger, and sadness. So when my dad passed, I overcame overwhelming sadness. He died of bowel cancer, and he was like my best friend and mentor. He taught me a lot of things, and I ran through those range of emotions. I also wrote about my own hearing loss. So I went through the fear of thinking I'd never be able to hear again. And the souring of a romantic relationship years ago, I'm happy to say, but nevertheless, it was a pretty horrific. It turned into a very sour relationship where I was, overcame increasing mental and physical abuse. Happy to say it didn't last that long, but it was still pretty awful. And in each three cases, I had a common thread where I would retreat from life, and I found that I was seeking refuge in sleep and just not get out of bed unless I really had to. And often that was just to check if everything still sucks, and if it did, I'd go back to bed again. So that withdrawal from life, that I know many people sometimes say they experience similar things when they go through a dramatic change.
Yeah, sure. Look, once again, I want to acknowledge you for the rawness and having the courage to share. And that's why, in my eyes, every one of our authors are just truly amazing, because they just show such levels of bravery to share part of themselves that for most of them, they've probably locked up inside, or maybe had a little bit of denial that there was, maybe still a little bit of, uncomfortability around all of that stuff. So why is it important for you now, Trudy, to share your chapter and share your story?
I think it's important right now because so many people are dealing with a whole lot of loss. So, in the same way as withdrawing, part of the withdrawing is not talking about it, painting on a happy face, and it's all good, and only sort of sharing those emotions with yourself and working through them yourself. And that's a hard thing to do. I think it's better, a problem shared is a problem halved. So I think by writing a chapter in this book, each one of your authors will be able to hopefully help somebody understand that they're not alone. And, right now there's a lot of people who had to deal with the death of a loved one. The statistics say that 1 in 6 women in Australia have undergone some kind of domestic or violence within the home. And, in recent times, there's a lot of people talking about mental and physical decline due to the pandemic and other things that are happening in society. So I think talking about it allows other people to maybe recover quickly.
Sure. So
Hopefully.
although this is some things that you experienced a long time ago, they're relevant to what's happening in the world now. So what do you hope is possible for someone that reads the chapter?
The
I had
hope.
to think about that question there. I was like kind of processing, like, that last fantastic answer.
Oh, thank you. If my hope for anyone that reads my little chapter and connects with it would be that they would be open to just be open to their innate inner wisdom, and perhaps think about developing it and embrace a stronger connection with their spirit team. I mean, after all, we really are spirits having a human experience, not the other way around. And I think sometimes we can forget that when we're stuck in a problem, or even just stuck in our day-to-day life, that, one of the biggest parts of us is the most unutilized, untapped resource, which is our spirit side. So it's like that song from way back, spirits in a material world. I think if we can keep that front of mind, then we have this massive resource that we can tap into and find wisdom and strength.
Yeah, well, I was sensing there was a song in there somewhere. So
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, please. I'm glad that you didn't ask me to sing it. I was kind of, tapping it out in my head a little bit. I certainly did that song, that's for sure. So
I'm glad I didn't start singing it. You would have had to turn it off.
yeah. So, considering everything that you've shared, and now that you've written your story, what do you believe is the key ingredients that make a resilient person?
For me, and from the story, I think accepting the situation that you find yourself in, is a key part of changing it. Recognizing that you have power to change it. You've got skin in the game, you can change it. Believe in your ability to influence the outcome. As I said, embrace your inner wisdom and strength. But probably the biggest one of all, and the one maybe everyone finds the hardest, is just ask for help. You'd be surprised how much good there is out there, and just how many people are waiting to just be asked and come to assist if you ask them. So, and I guess lastly, I would maybe think that developing a practice, a daily practice, if you can commit to it, where you're supporting your well-being or your mental health, or whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it be meditation, which is my thing, and it could be anything, a walk on the beach, a cup of tea with a girlfriend, something like that.
Yeah, or even a cake or something like that too.
I love cake.
Well, thanks, Trudy. I really appreciate you taking some time out to share your message. I just love the whole process, and I just love the fact that you're part of the community, and I'm honoured. We're all honoured to have someone of your wisdom and your integrity being part of the community. So thanks very much.
Honestly, the pleasure's all mine. I'm so glad that I'm part of this team. It's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Trudy.
Okay.
Bye.